the third one.
Right. So if I could ask you now then about actually leaving Yugoslavia and the journey, your journey into Klagenfurt, was that?
There was no journey. We walked.
Yes,
We walked to Ljubljana 2 nights, and then partisans were coming back from us. We didn't have really any fights with them much. They didn't attack us or anything, because what happened is that we were practically going peacefully. It was a little bit in Ljubel, when we come to Ljubel, the third day. We walked by day and by night, whatever it was. The third day was a little bit of fight there, because I believe that some Germans didn't want us to go through tunnel there in Ljubel. But I didn't hear anything about that. I wasn't involved there. As far as I know, we came to that tunnel and we went across, and we went to Austria, and then just before Drava, we seen the first English soldiers. And my first impression was, they are definitely supermen. That was my first impression. They jumped on the jeep there, and then was Captain there, and then we were walking down there, and then was just other side Drava was 2 standing there, English, 1 soldiers there, and then they asked us to throw all the guns away, so we threw all the guns away, and then was a tank there, and about 10 English soldiers on it, and then when the group formed about 2,000 of us, and we walked down to Vetrinia, approximately 4 or 5 kilometers. And then they show us the field, and they just let us go on the field.
And when you say the 2,000 of you, were you all men, or were there women and children?
That time when I was 99% men. 99%. Some women and some others come approximately 1 or 2 days after, or maybe next day. But they may have some that went before. But with the group I was 99% men. And then it could be 99% domobranci.
And would this be at the end of the war, when the war had finished by the time you arrived in Austria?
That would be, I would say, about 9th or 10th of May. Hitler already died, and already Montgomery already signed all those things. When all those things were done, we were still in Slovenia, around Ljubljana or walking up, or something like that. I'm not quite exact date, maybe 10th. Or maybe come there, or some, maybe 8th, maybe 9th.
That must have been a long walk you had.
Yes, as I say, about 3 nights and 3 days, or maybe 4.
Did you have food and drink, that sort of
Oh yes, we had in the rucksacks and things like that. We still have, we were not really hungry walking up there.
But you were a young man still, weren't you? You would have been in your early 20s?
I was 24.
What were your expectations? What did you hope would happen at that stage? What did you really, or did you have any hopes?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. The only some of them, they said, we got it now. We got no guns anymore, and then so on. But I always have somehow or hope that I won't be killed. But I didn't really think, you don't really think of anything. You are there, and then whatever happened, you don't think about the future. Something may happen, because we didn't have no future for so many years before. And then you just, what will happen, will happen. We didn't even talk about amongst ourselves a lot. English are guarding us, and we are safe. That was my impression.
Yes, you were saying your first impression, these supermen. Did they treat you kindly? Were they kind to you?
Oh yes, no, they didn't say anything to us. That's what they just said to you. We seen a couple of there, they went on the jeep and they ran away, probably leading us or something away. And then the one was standing there near the pile of the arms, and another one on the other side. And then when we walking down, they were perfect gentlemen. I must say that, perfect gentlemen. Ordinary soldiers they were. I think it was one sergeant there. That was the biggest rank I seen at that time. But what I meant when I say they must be supermen, because they won the war. you know, they must be really something extra special. And we always, even now if you go to Yugoslavia, if you are English, you are treated specially because they think they are some special race. And my father and people like that, they were always telling us that they are the only one which will be treated fairly, English, you know. Germans nations are right, but they got the fanatics like Hitler and things like that, you know, his problems. The Italians don't trust. That was always we've been told. You know, so. But English, they were always, English were always on the map. And we didn't know about Britain. We didn't talk British or anything like that. It was only English.
Did you speak any English?
Not a word, not one word.
Yes, so what would your language have been? Just the Slovene, Yugoslav?
I knew a little bit of it. Others is easier for us, or Polish in a way if it comes to push. But no English at all. And I didn't start learning English for 2 years after. Some of them start learning straight away in Austria. I mean, when I come back. But then 1947, there was a chance that we are going to England or America or something. I thought to myself, I better start learning. And it's how? But there was a student, he said, I'll show you how. And he started teaching me. And then when I come to this country, I knew 20 lessons. And that student come here as well, and he knew a little bit more. And I said, how are, I'm a carry on. He said, you know enough to start, you carry on now.
Well, you've got a lovely voice, I think, because it's, you've got a Welsh lilt to
now,
it,
yes.
which
yes.
is
I've been here 40 years now.
Yes.
I've been in this house since 1950.
Well, I must ask you about your settlement later on, but at the moment when we're in Austria, you know, what was the situation like in Austria at the end of World War II? Because obviously one hears an awful lot about the chaos of war, and I know one of the reasons given for what happened to the Yugoslavs and Cossacks was the fact that Austria was chaotic. Was it chaotic, do you think, when you went in? What were your impressions?
See, we were not involved with that. Of course, we hear that when Russia occupied, they were nasty to women and all those things. But we were not involved. The area where we were, life was pretty normal. When I come back second time, when I escape and come back to Austria, the life was pretty normal. English were gentlemen. I must say that, no problems after. No problems after at all. Or as long as you have, you know, been citizen like here, by the law, there was no problem at all. If they didn't turn those people back, English, that was the biggest mistake for them. I know they're sorry now, and they know that there was a mistake. It was not needed. Isn't it?
There was plenty of room in Austria for displaced persons, was there? And was there enough food and water? And
there was no food, no water, but it was land there. We were there. We didn't worry about that. It was nothing really. And then after there were Russian books there. It doesn't matter how many marks you had. If you didn't have a coupon, you didn't have nothing. But it was enough to survive.
So this field, when they showed you the field...
Vitrinia, Wichtring. Wichtring, Alpa Vitrinia in our language is Vitrinia.
So you would have been one of the very early people to go there, is that right, to build this camp up? Or
no, I would say, yes, I would say that the first ones came about a day before I did, 1 day earlier. Because it was a pretty big pile of arms there, you know, when we throw there. I would say I was the second day. And then they were coming there for about 4 or 5 days. And then after it stopped. The Chetniks came after us, and some Ustaše from Croatia, they come after us. We were really the first lot. I should say about 20,000 or 25,000.